Dickens. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
Did I just see what I just see and what I saw, what I did see? Ariel Helwani and Chael Sonnen. Was this indeed a shoot? Let's get straight into it.
Video 3 hours ago. Rewind this video 3 hours ago, and I was asked the first question of the day was, should other UFC fighters do this? And I said no. Not only will it not happen, I don't think it's a smart idea, and I don't think it's going to play out the way it did for Francis. Francis is an anomaly, and I even asked Markel that same question. So you think that I have this vendetta against UFC, that I'm going to try to unionize the fighters to go out? It would be incredibly dumb. They don't have they don't have the skills, they don't have the backing, there's not the demand, X, Y, and Z. And yet you are trying to spin this narrative so that you can get a couple of high fives on your YouTube channel later and say, you really stuck it to Ariel. You really exposed him. No, I know the score and I know exactly what happened. Francis Ngannou went out there and bet on himself and got one of the best deals that he could possibly get from the PFL. And then he got it while everyone was shitting on him, including yourself.
So I kind of thought this is like, yeah, they've spoken, back office, etc., etc. And then the more and more I'm watching this thing, I'm thinking, could this indeed be real? Or as they say in the wrestling game, is this a shoot? Like, what on earth? How did this develop?
And let's be honest, you have a grudge against him. You've talked about this. You guys almost came to blows in Dallas. You've talked about this on your YouTube channel.
No, I don't listen. When did Francis Ngannou and Chael Sonnen almost come to blows in Dallas, in the great state of Texas, in Dallas, to be precise? When did this take place, and what? Why did it? Why? I haven't heard about this. Drop it down in the comments.
So there's a vendetta there too. There's probably a little bit of a, bad blood between you, and it's probably in your best interest to continue to shit on him, and I understand that. But what you are saying is incredibly, incredibly reckless, because you're ignoring the fact that $10 million is not a win for a guy in the UFC. No one's making $10 million if you're not named Conor McGregor. And then the money he's about to make the next time around, the money he's about to make is going to laugh in the face of everyone in the UFC other than Conor, because he gets to play by a different set of rules. So you can dance around everything you want. But next time, do me a favor, Chael. Don't fucking be don't be a fucking coward and dance around.
It's I mean, I rarely use profanity myself, but in the Gregorian year of 2023, Ariel is just smelling himself, man. He's really feeling himself with this relaxed stance he takes with using profanity and the F-bomb all the damn time. It's interesting. It's interesting. He's smelling his own coffee, quote unquote.
On this shit. Say it to my face. Say it to my face like a man, because that's how I know you. Say it to my face and say, no, Ariel, you have a vendetta, you have a bias against the UFC, and that's why you're doing this. Say it to my face. Grow a fucking pair. And I'll say to you, you have a bias and a vendetta.
Let's stop it there. I think many people would say that you do have a bias to, against, not towards, against the UFC, even though the majority of the content is surrounded the UFC. I mean, in North America, the wilderness of North America, there is a plethora of other organizations, obviously not high level, UFC is the creme de la creme, quote unquote, the major sports organization, but you're not necessarily spreading that out. You doing sport, what was it, darts and all kind of madness. You're mixing in this football. You've got this infatuation with soccer now. Okay, let's get back.
Against Francis, and you're a company man, and you work for ESPN, and you don't want to upset Big Bad Dana because he's done some really nice things to you over the years. So you have your bias, I have mine. The best part about this story is we know.
And that is correct. And that goes across the board with everybody. We all have our own biases to a point. Some can utilize our biases, not even utilize. Some can be more balanced and not necessarily go with the biases that we have. But yeah, that's a good point. That's a valid point.
How it played out. Francis won. He didn't have to pay a penny. He didn't have to lose a dime. He got 10 to 20 million. Oh, I can't wait for those numbers to come out. And then he's about to get even more come March whenever he fights again in the kingdom, backed by a guy who doesn't care if he loses another 100 million.
Look at Chael.
The spirit of today was for us to celebrate the competitiveness of Francis Ngannou, which is what I came here to do.
Go on, Chael.
If you want to talk the business side, it's very simple. It lost money, the pay-per-view. You're done right there. You stop right there. If your true intent, Ariel, with your big balls and all your courage, was to celebrate the 10 million that he got, which is all that he got, you would have done that 3 months ago when it was announced.
I did. I'll send you the clip.
I'll send you the clip. And the only reason your audience is still watching.
You're lying. You're lying. You're lying, Chael. I did. I did it on July 11th.
To do
You're a liar.
With the competitiveness.
Okay, Chael.
The only reason you're talking
want
about
to keep
a fight,
lying?
Ariel, you keep cutting me off
because you're lying.
I don't really
Chael,
you're
lying. You are
You're
lying.
About what,
I
you
did
dumb
so.
Oh my God, this is almost like back office stuff, man. You're lying. What? This is a grown man with children, live on air. And don't get it twisted. When I'm surprised, my voice can get a little high and stuff. Don't get it twisted. That surprised high tone. But like, come on, man. Like, and I do like the spontaneous elements of interviews, but like parameters, etc., being professional, like it deteriorated 50 minutes of let's get through it. Let's get through it.
I would strangle you if I was there. You come and talk to me mouthy like this, you little.
Do it.
Ariel.
This is like a scene out of your movie, Low Job Diamonds.
Because I'm saying you didn't do something.
If it
turned out you did, by the way, it would make me wrong. It would mean that your buddies got it wrong. It wouldn't make it a lie.
Saying it was
and you sure didn't invite me over here.
You're saying,
I sure was on with you 3 months ago. I've been on with you since this fight was signed, and you never celebrated it. You never talked about the money. And it was so rude what you've done to Francis here today, where you pretend to be his friend, talk about behind someone's back. I'm going to be a coward behind your back, but I almost come to blows with Francis face to face. Do you think those two stories go together, you little weasel?
What are you talking about?
Hey, yeah? Come on, man. Come on, gentlemen. That goes across the board, man. All of this mudslinging. I wonder how this will now develop. This is madness. You know what I would be doing? I'd be, whilst this is all taking place, if I was Ariel Helwani, I'd be typing to New York Rick or whoever the producer saying, just cut his thing, just cut it off, right? I'm not doing this. And I say, oh, we've had some technicals, whatever. Or look, I wasn't gonna just cut him mid sentence, blah blah blah, make his excuses and move on. But again, what yeah. Has the notoriety, quote unquote, the success, because he's a talented journalist. Does have some interesting ways, and we do see the bias. We do definitely see the bias.
Talk about it on your YouTube channel. Yeah, go ahead.
This is about the celebration of the competition that he had. And when you talk about it, it will parlay you to your next fight. These are wonderful things that I agree with you and that we can have a meaningful conversation on. But this is you taking things back. And to come and ask me when something is done, literally whether this happened or not, of course it did. We're stating facts. I interpret that for me to educate people about the standard of the industry and what could be changed to make it better next time. It's a very rare event. It's a very rare sporting event in my lifetime where it's bigger after the fact.
That's why we can talk about it. That's why I'm asking you about the benefit of hindsight.
The timeline and how it worked. The fact that
the 10 million, man, the 10 million. Now, this also highlights, let's just peel back another layer of the onion. 10 million, 10 million, 10 million. Chael Sonnen, I don't know what the P stands for. But he called him on it and broke him down. where's the source for this 10 million that you're talking about? And Ariel says, I'm the source because I said it. Okay, well, you're saying that you're the source. So where did you get the information? I don't know. I just said it. That reduces your credibility, senor.
That it was a financial loss while being the biggest and most celebrated after the fact is something that we can learn from. Those are relevant facts that your audience would want to know. They would want to know why today them personally are more excited about this than they were Saturday morning, the day of the fight. Those are interesting things.
Retrospect.
You chose
hindsight.
this to use a way to try to hurt the man. It was weird. I don't know why you did it, Ariel. I don't know why you did it.
I literally said, now that we have the benefit of hindsight, and looking back in retrospect, can you concede
Ariel,
that
you
this
know
worked
that's
out?
not what Ariel, you know that wasn't your point. Or we would just do that now. We do that all day. What fun would that be to listen to?
Because now
Yes,
we know
I
how the
saw
story
same
plays
thing,
out.
Ariel. It was filmed and put around the world.
Now he knows how the
that
story
wasn't your
plays
intent.
out. Now he knows
You
how the
didn't
story
ask those
plays
things
out.
for that reason. You had a different message. And
What
I
was-
do resent that you tried to act like I wouldn't say it to your face. You motion, come on over
Yeah.
here. That's
Well, I mean,
chicken stuff. I don't do that. I don't
You're
do that
literally
kind of stuff to
threatening
you.
me. You're saying you're going to
I don't do
strangle
that
me,
to
Chael, my
you.
own friend.
You called me a liar, Ariel.
Yes,
You called me
you
a
are
liar,
lying.
which in a worse.
So let's examine that. You know, look, all the love. Oh, you in the studio. We haven't seen you since the ESPN days and all this stuff. We're brethren, etc. You're my arc and all this. And this is how brothers conduct themselves. Are these just empty words and phrases are thrown around the place to levy positions and contacts and other things, maybe?
Case,
You called me
which
a
in a
weasel.
worse case could be wrong.
Wow.
If I did something and I didn't have an intent, I could be right. You don't
I
give
mean,
me
you
your
said-
friend the
Listen,
benefit of that.
listen.
You don't give me the benefit.
You
I could
tweeted
be
on.
wrong. You came on and said that it's very important that he made 10 to 20 million. It was your opening one, which was a lie. So I told you, bring it up. I don't care if it's a thread by an anonymous source on the underground forum. I told you I would accept it, but I told you it wasn't out there and you didn't actually read it, and you didn't do it. You had to cop to the lie that you were the one that said it.
Yeah.
10 to 20 million is a
That's been reported by
100%
me.
difference. It's not a prediction.
Well,
It's
I don't know what the numbers
misleading.
are. That's why I asked
know
you.
the
We could go
pay-per-view
back.
bomb.
How do I know?
You know the
How do I
pay-per-view
know?
bomb. For
I
you
don't
to
work
act
for the
like it
worldwide
did it,
leader.
this is-
He doesn't know what the numbers are. So where did this 10 million come from, Mr. Helwani? You know, where did it come from?
I
is
work
weird,
for them.
man.
I don't have an
You're
inside
a
source.
weirdo.
And by the way, you
Ariel,
are a
you're
liar
weirdo.
because
This
you
is
tweeted.
dishonest one, which I didn't know.
You tweeted on Saturday that you were at the event, and we just found out you weren't at the event. Was that not a lie or?
Say to you today,
No, but there's a habit of lying. Because you tweeted that. So there's a habit. There's a habit. There's a precedent. There's a history.
say these things to you today.
What are you talking
Why
about?
would you bring that? Should I
Because
bring up things
if
that I
you
know
lied
about?
about- No,
What the hell's going on with his audio?
I didn't bring up a single thing that you haven't said publicly. It was.
The hell is going on with this audio?
Surprisingly competitive. I came
Anyway.
here to celebrate the good, not only with Francis, but with Tyson. You came here to tell a message to Dana White, which missed, like it always. I gotta go. I hate hanging up. That's
Which
what
missed.
punks do. But I gotta go, man.
That's
You're
a weasel move.
disgusting.
That's
You're
a weasel move.
disgusting, and
That's
you're
a
weak,
weasel
Ariel.
move.
You're
That's
disgusting
a weasel
and weak.
move. That's
You're
I'll
weak.
stand here. You're
You're
trying
a
to
weak little
leave.
weasel.
You're trying to leave and you
I'm
keep
not trying to
insulting
leave.
me. You
I
keep
got nowhere
insulting.
to go
Bring
with
on the
you.
insults.
You
Bring on the
keep lying,
insults.
and then
Some
you call me
friend.
the liar.
Some friend. You did lie.
opened this by
Some
saying that it did
friends.
10 to 20 million, as reported. You could have said, I'm guessing, I think, but you didn't. You lied. This is your opening line. I'm not going back, Ariel, like you tried to do with things that have a different place that nobody here as your audience, our jury can see. I went back to your first line. Your opening line to me, you lied.
Oh,
I
you're
called you out. You got caught lying. You said it did
Say it
10
again.
to 20, and you
It
said
did.
it was reported.
Yes, by
I'm
me.
leaving.
By
I'm
me.
leaving. I know
By
that's a
me.
punk move, but
By
you're a punk
me.
and you're a little
By
weasel.
me.
Goodbye, Ariel.
Keep insulting. Yeah, there he is. What a
That was interesting to say the least. And with the end of Gregorian year of 2023, we still got some time left. We've still got some more time left. We've had a lot of shockers. We've had a lot of stuff take place. A lot of things we never thought would happen. Some revealing. The Weasel. Sounds like a name that other people have called Mr. Helwani. This is a interesting yet shocking piece of media. Let me know your thoughts, comments, share, like, all of that good stuff, man. This is a madness, as they say.